Hello students, myself is Puneet from Prep Kirpa classes. Our today's topic is Unlock Your Creativity Tips for Crafting Engaging Speeches. After going through this course, the students will understand that speech writing tips will help them a lot in creating compelling and effective speeches. They will learn how to organize the speech in a way that is easy to follow, engaging, and memorable. The students will learn how to use powerful words, stories, and examples to connect with the audience emotionally and convey the message in an impactful and persuasive way. They will understand how writing a speech is different from any other piece of written communication. The students will learn how they can make the speech introduction catchy and interesting and what is the format of an effective speech. The students will understand that speech writing is not as difficult as it seems. They only need to follow some basic tips and tricks to writing a compelling speech. Now our topic is speech writing. A speech is the way of communicating ideas and thoughts through talking. It must have the capacity to hold the attention of the audience. Speech writing is an important skill for you whether you are a student or a professional. Writing a speech is different from writing any other piece of written communication because you write to be heard and not to be read. Speech writing is the art of writing a message that can attract, hold the interest and attention of audience and influence them. Unlike an essay, a speech starts with a formal address and we conclude the speech with a sentence thanking the audience. Writing for public speaking is not as difficult as it seems. You only need to follow some basic tips and tricks to write a compelling speech. Some of the real life examples of speech writing are: number 1, educational institutions often invite chief guests for annual day function where the chief guest delivers a speech. Chief guests often read a speech that they have drafted beforehand. Number 2, many politicians have speech writers working for them. The speech writer crafts a persuasive and memorable speech that leaves a lasting impression on the audience and also helps the politician to achieve his goals. Speech writing process involves several steps. This process has the aim of creating a written content which is to be delivered orally as a speech. These steps in speech writing process are as under. Number 1, understanding the purpose of speech. Number 2, knowing your audience. Third, choosing a clear topic. Fourth, conducting research. Fifth, outlining your speech. Sixth, writing your speech. Seventh, rehearsing and delivering your speech. Overall, the speech writing process requires careful planning, research, and practice to create a clear, effective, and engaging message. Now, we will understand what are the tips for speech writing. Number 1, the speech should not be too long as it may become boring. As a general rule of thumb, a speech should be long enough to convey the message effectively but short enough to maintain the audience attention and engagement. In general, most speeches should not be longer than 20 to 30 minutes. Number 2, tone of speech should match the audience. For example, a speech given to a group of business executives would require a more formal and professional tone, while a speech given to a group of high school students may require a more conversational and engaging tone. Third, use simple, familiar, and persuasive language in speech writing. Simple and familiar language is easily understood by the audience. Persuasive language helps to convince the audience of the importance of the message being conveyed. Fourth, write your speech just like you talk. That means using everyday language. When writing a speech, use words and phrases that you would normally use in everyday conversation. Keep in mind that you are writing for the ear and not for the eye. Use short sentences. Avoid using technical language. Fifth, remember what your audience is, what is your topic, and the main points in order of importance. By keeping these three things in mind while writing a speech, you can ensure that you are going to deliver a clear and effective message to your audience. Sixth, the speech should have a catchy and an interesting introduction. Depending on your topic and your goals for the speech, you can start by saying something funny, sad, threatening, or shocking to catch the attention of your audience. Or you can begin your speech with an anecdote, quotation, statistical data, or a thought-provoking question. Anecdote means a short and interesting or amusing story about a real incident or person, often used to illustrate or emphasize point. Seventh, a speech must reflect the speaker's clarity of the thought and accuracy of facts. A speech that is unclear can confuse and disengage the audience. If a speech is based on inaccurate facts, it can damage the speaker's credibility and can also result in public criticism. Eighth, use short sentences. It is better to write two simple sentences than one long, complicated sentence. It is easier for the audience to understand the short sentences. By using short sentences, the speaker can create a clear, concise, and engaging speech. Ninth, use statistics, expert opinions, and real-life examples to bring credibility to your views. If we use of statistics and expert opinions, it helps to strengthen the speaker's arguments and claims. Use of real-life examples can help to make the speech more interesting and relatable for the audience. 10th, limit statistics and quotes. Limit yourself to only one or two statistics or quotes per point and only include those stats and quotes that are truly meaningful. If we use many statistics or quotes, it can affect the flow of speech and it will become difficult for the audience to understand the overall message of the speech. 11th, favor nouns over pronouns for clarity. Opt for proper nouns, that is, names of places, people, and things whenever possible, and avoid overusing pronouns. Some common pronouns include it, he, her, they, we, that, those. Using nouns in a speech ensures that the audience understands exactly what the speaker is referring to. 12. Repeat a word or phrase a few times during your speech. While repetition can be a useful tool in public speaking to emphasize a point, too much repetition of a word or phrase can be distracting and even annoying for the audience. If we use the right balance between repetition and variation of words and phrases, we will deliver an effective and engaging speech.
Now we will understand the format of an effective speech. Now this is before you. What is the format of an effective speech? Speech starts with an introduction, then comes body of the speech. In the body of the speech, we make use of quotes, examples, statistics, and anecdotes. And at the last of the speech, we make conclusion of the speech. First is introduction. When we are to start the speech, we should start the speech with a strong statement so that this we can grab the attention of the audience. While starting the speech, it is a good idea to introduce yourself and the purpose of your speech at the start. Now comes the main body of the speech. There are no specific rules which we have to follow while we are writing the body of the speech. In the body of the speech, you can explain the current situation of the audience to the audience. That is what is presently going on with respect to the topic on which you are writing. Then you can tell the problem if there is any. Then during writing about the main body of this speech, you can involve the general public by asking questions, and you can keep their thinking process on with your words. That is, when you ask them the questions, their the mind of the public also works at the same time, and they become engaged with the speech. Next, you are also to tell the audience what actions have been taken by you for the betterment in the situation. And you, in the body of the speech, you can also write about a few solutions as well. It may be possible that while writing a speech, you have too many points or very few points. It is better for you that you should choose only those points which are the best one, and you have to explain the best points briefly. In the body of the speech, you can give your personal opinion in one or two lines. Please keep in mind that you are not to deviate from the topic. To involve the general public in your speech, we can make use of some proverbs, maxims, or some slogans or good thoughts of some great people. Next, conclusion. At the last of the speech, we have to conclude the speech. It is important to conclude the speech in a way that your speech leaves a good impression on your audience. We can conclude the speech with a memorable quote, or a call to action, or a thought provoking question. If you use thought-provoking question, it will inspire the audience to take action or continue thinking about the topic. We can add that we have already uploaded many courses such as on the topics such as email writing, present tense, past tense, future tense, cyber security, and most common mistakes in English grammar, and much more. You can look out for the same on various sites. Now the topic before us is speech writing on an important topic, and the topic is mental health. Mental health is very important topic in the today's scenario. It is pity that whenever a person suffers from some mental health problem, we as a general public do not consider that person good, and we ignore and even use very wrong words in respect of that person. We forget that we may also face mental health issues at any stage in our life. So we should not use wrong words in respect of those persons who are suffering from mental health issues. If we cannot do anything, let us not say any wrong words in respect of those people. If possible, we should take some steps so that we can reduce the sufferings of those people who are suffering from mental health issues. As a person, we generally take our the care in respect of our physical health, but we usually disregard our mental health. So that is why this topic has been chosen by us. So let us start this topic. When we are to write the topic, we will firstly write what is the meaning of mental health. Then we will discuss somewhat what is the present position of mental health among the general public worldwide. Then we will discuss what are the various reasons for these mental health issues, and we will also write in the speech writing somewhat about what steps can be taken by us in general as well as a society, so that we can reduce the sufferings of those people who are suffering from mental health. And at the last, we will conclude the topic of mental health. So let us start writing about speech writing on mental health. When we are starting the topic, we can start any topic with the words of great persons or some quotes. So now we will start the topic speech writing on mental health. In the words of Jonathan Harnish, the strongest people are not those who show strength in front of the world, but those who fight and win battles that others do not know anything about. Good morning, respected principal, teachers, and my dear friends. Today I, Ella. Ella is the name of the person who is speaking before the audience in a school function. Today I, Ella, stand before you all to talk to you about a topic that is often overlooked but which affects millions of people worldwide, that is mental health. Now we will write about the meaning of mental health. Mental health refers to emotional, psychological, and social well-being, and it is just as important as our physical health. Mental health is an essential component of our overall health. Unfortunately, mental health issues are often stigmatized and misunderstood. That is why millions of people around the world are struggling with mental health issues in silence. But the truth is that mental health problems can affect anyone regardless of their age, gender, or background. Now, why it happens that the people who are suffering from mental health do not tell others, they remain silent about the mental health issue being suffered by them? They do so because the people do not show empathy or do not have empathy in respect of those persons who suffer from mental health. Rather, the people laugh at those persons who have mental health issues. That is why they choose to remain silent about their mental health problem. Please don't do that. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 people worldwide experience mental health problems at some point in their lives. This is a staggering statistic. Whether it is depression, anxiety, addiction, or other mental health condition, it can have a profound impact on our lives, relationships, and even our work. You can see that if anyone in the family suffers from some mental health issue, the whole of the family gets disturbed. If we are having a spouse, then it can also affect our relation with our spouse as well as our other family friends or with our blood relations. So the main cause of our mental health issue is depression, anxiety, addiction. This is causing a lot of pressure on our brain, and we suffer from mental health issues. As individuals, we should talk openly and honestly about mental health and raise awareness about the same. That is, we should take steps that we can make the general public aware of the mental health issues and what are the various resources or the steps which can be taken by the person suffering from mental health issues so that he can also enjoy the world. Now we come to the main topic. We should take care of our mental health and seeking help when we need it and supporting those around us who may be struggling with mental health problem. As a society, we need to break down the stigma surrounding mental health. There is lot of need that we should break down the stigma which is used in respect of the persons who are suffering from mental health issues. Even if this stigma, if we take steps to remove the stigma associated with mental health, most of the problem can be solved and the people will start talking about their mental health issues in open, and when they will talk in open, most of their problem will be get automatically solved. The good news is that there are effective treatments and therapies available for those who are struggling with mental health issues. Seeking help from a mental health professional, talking to a friend or family member, or practicing self-care can be the effective ways to manage and improve mental health. Mental health professionals are those persons who are trained in therapies and medicines so that they can take care of those persons who are suffering from mental health issues. If we talk to a friend, it will relieve somewhat from our brain and we will feel somewhat better. We can also use self care, that is, we can use medication, yoga, and other techniques which can improve our mental health. So, we should take all the possible measures which we can take to manage and improve mental health, not only of ourselves but also of others. We can also prioritize mental health in our schools and workplaces. We need to take care of our mental health just as we take care of our physical health. In our schools, we can organize seminars or we can introduce topics on mental health in textbooks so that we can make the general students aware of the mental health issues even from the early stage in their life. Why it is necessary? Because the students are suffering a lot of mental health issues even at this tender age. Why they are suffering? Because they are suffering from, because they have are facing pressure not only from their parents but also from the teachers as well as from the general public, because each and every student is expected to score maximum marks in the examination and they have to compete with other students to get admission in the medical line or in the engineering line or in the any other relevant field of their choice. So they are facing a lot of mental pressure on their mind, and even the students are suffering from mental health issues. So in conclusion, mental health is an essential aspect of our overall health. It is time to end the stigma surrounding mental illness. Let us support each other, seek help when we need it, and we give support to others when they need it. And we work together to create a more compassionate and understanding world. Thank you. Now we will conclude this speech writing on mental health. Speech writing is an important skill for you, whether you are a student, a professional, a businessman, a politician, a housewife, or any other person. Speech writing is not as difficult as it seems. Practice makes a man perfect. When you start writing on the topics, different topics, you will have the ability, you will make up your mind and you can successfully write a speech on the topic of your choice. You only need to follow some basic tips and tricks to create speeches that are powerful, persuasive, and memorable. If you like our video, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.